Have you ever noticed this weird thing? Some people hate birthdays. They disappear on anniversaries. They suddenly forget the date on festivals. And you're like, bro, it's your special day. Why are you acting like the calendar personally attacked you? Let's talk about why people avoid special days. Because trust me, it's not because they're boring. It's way deeper than that. First, let's get one thing straight. Special days come with expectations, and expectations are heavy, like emotionally heavy. On a birthday, you're supposed to be happy. On anniversaries, you're supposed to feel grateful. On festivals, you're supposed to feel joyful and connected. But what if you don't? What if it's just another day where you woke up tired, overthinking, and questioning your life choices while brushing your teeth? That pressure to feel something special can actually make people want to escape the whole thing. Here's a simple example. Imagine everyone telling you, "Today is the best day of your life." Suddenly your brain goes, "Oh no, what if it's not?" Now instead of enjoying the day, you're busy monitoring your emotions. Am I happy enough? Should I be smiling more? Why don't I feel excited like others? Congrats, you've officially sucked the joy out of the day. Another big reason people avoid special days? Memories. Special days have receipts. They remind you of how things used to be. A birthday can remind you of people who used to call but don't anymore. An anniversary can remind you of a relationship that didn't survive. Festivals can remind you of family members who are no longer around, or relationships that feel distant now. And suddenly, what's supposed to be a celebration turns into a highlight reel of emotional flashbacks. That's why some people say, "I don't like birthdays," when what they really mean is, "I don't like being reminded of what changed." Then there's this sneaky one, self-reflection. Special days force you to look at yourself. Birthdays are basically annual performance reviews, conducted by your own brain. You start thinking, am I where I thought I'd be by this age? Why am I still stuck? What have I actually achieved? Even if your life is fine, your brain compares it to an imaginary version where you're richer, happier, fitter, and somehow drinking coffee in Paris. No wonder some people choose to skip the whole thing. Avoiding the day feels easier than facing those questions. Now let's talk about introverts and emotionally sensitive people for a second. Not everyone enjoys attention. For some people, special days feel like being put on a spotlight they never asked for. Messages, calls, group chats, forced replies. Thank you, thanks a lot, so sweet of you. By the end of the day, they're socially exhausted and wondering why being loved felt like a full-time job, so they avoid the day entirely. Not because they don't care, but because caring costs energy. And here's the one nobody talks about enough: fear of disappointment. When you expect nothing, nothing can hurt you. Some people avoid special days because they've been disappointed before. They expected a surprise. It didn't happen. They expected someone to remember. They didn't. They expected the day to feel special. It felt normal. After a few of those, the brain learns a trick. If I avoid the day, I avoid the pain. It's emotional self-protection, not negativity. There's also this quiet belief many people carry. I don't deserve celebration. Sounds harsh, but it's real. Low self-worth makes special days uncomfortable. Being celebrated feels undeserved. Compliments feel awkward. Love feels suspicious. So instead of dealing with that inner conflict, people choose distance. Now here's the interesting part. Avoiding special days doesn't mean someone hates happiness. It usually means they feel happiness more deeply, and that makes them cautious. They don't want fake joy. They don't want forced smiles. They don't want performative celebration. They want something real. And sometimes, the real thing looks like staying quiet, ordering comfort food, watching a familiar show, and letting the day pass without emotional pressure. And honestly, that's okay. Special days are supposed to add meaning to life, not measure it. They're meant to be options, not obligations. So if you know someone who avoids birthdays or downplays special moments, don't judge them. They're not ungrateful. They're not strange. They're just protecting their peace in a world that expects constant excitement. And if you are that person who prefers normal days over special ones, here's the truth. You're not broken. You're just honest with yourself. Sometimes the most special thing you can do is let a day be just a day.